All right, so I've been here for 2 years. Came into work here as a general sales manager at Don Brown Chevrolet. Don hired me. He's got 2 kids, both of them are in college, that want to get into the automotive industry. I've been doing this since 1987. My job here for the next 10 years, or until they don't need me anymore, is to train the 2 kids to run the dealership and to take over when Don retires. I've been put into that position. I love it. It's not about the money here. It's about the legacy that I want to leave here with these kids and know that it's in good hands with them.
You mentioned one of the best dealerships you've ever worked with.
Yeah, you can't fault. There's no faults in working at this store. From the ownership to the ownership's family to the co-workers that I have here, from the guys that clean the cars to my technicians to my body guys to parts guys, it's just a family, and it's a family atmosphere. And I know that dealerships say that, but this truly, after 35 years of being in this business, is a family atmosphere.
What's the difference between Car Motivators and working with Sean Kelly and the Car Motivators team as opposed to some of the other trainers and coaches who've come through?
Well, I'll tell you a quick story about Sean Kelly. Is for a guy that's been in the business as long as I have, to come here and to know that we have a trainer that comes in here when I kind of feel like I'm a pretty good trainer. I was not sure whether or not we needed his services anymore. And then the first time that we sat down, I think we sat down for, which I was planning on being about a half an hour, and I don't even know if Sean knows this or not. I was planning on being about a half an hour, and it ended up being over a 3-hour conversation that we had, sitting face to face in this office. And by the time we were done, not only was I 100% in that he does good things for this store, but after being in this business for 35 years, he opens up my eyes with stuff that I didn't know. So when I sit there and say that I think I'm a pretty good trainer, no, Sean Kelly's he's the nuts and bolts of getting people. You give him the tools as to what he can help with, and he comes up with a plan. He puts the plan together. He gets everybody involved. I gotta tell you, I've never worked with a training company that is as good as Sean. Compared to other training companies that I have, they come in, they train, and they leave. I'll tell you one quick story. I had a phone company when I started here. I didn't listen to the phone conversations. I had a phone company that called me and said, "Can I do some dummy phone calls and call your salespeople?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, go ahead." Well, when he reported back to me, they sucked. And so Sean came in, and I told him what I was doing. And he goes, "We do this." And I said, "Well, why haven't we?" And he says, "Well, because your predecessor just didn't put it on his plate. We didn't need to worry about it." I said, "Well, listen to these." He listened to them, and we both in agreement that yes. And so Sean goes, "I do it." And he goes, "I'll do it." And I'm like, "Okay." And I said, "I'm going to give you 90 days. And if in 90 days I don't see it going in the right direction," I said, "I'm firing you, and I'm hiring the other company." Well, it didn't even take 90 days. It was 60 days. We put a script together. The salespeople followed the script to a T, and we still follow up with that training on it. So to Sean listens. Sean listens to what you need. Sean is very observant. I just honestly, I don't know if we would be where we are without the help of him. And I'll take that to my grave. I'll tell anybody that. And I have.
Well, I think that's the difference between the coaching and the training part, is that maybe the depth and longevity. I mean, that's, trying to create a delineation between what a coach does and what a trainer does. I mean, obviously trainers show them how to do it,
yeah,
and then coaches get a lot deeper,
I've never heard coaching until I met Sean. I've always heard training.
Yeah.
And Sean beats on me all the time about quit saying training, say coaching.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're right. So, no, the whole team, Justin Dumas, we work together. He's in our service. He does our service training, to Reed, to Chaz, everybody that's within this company looks at Don Brown Chevrolet in the best interest as to what works for Don Brown Chevrolet. I'm just very happy with where we're at right now.
Atmosphere, Chapter 1. Nookie and MC System. Soundtrack for the 21st century.